Welcome back to Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Lauren Baker, and we are here today with Tom Zalazar of River of Life Church. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We are so happy to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about your church and why you're here today?
I'm the pastor of River of Life Church, and we're located at 3212 East Grant Avenue here in Fresno. It's a wonderful small church that we've developed over the past 16 years. This church is probably one of the most serviceable churches that I've ever been involved with, and excited for what we have in store for the future. Last year, this little church fed over 15,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And we have a couple that has taken over that ministry, Raquel and B. Wu, who are very, very diligent in their efforts to make sure that they meet the needs of the neighborhood. We also go out and do outreaches at the different locations here in Fresno. We choose a needy location, and we go out. Like this morning, they had a food drop on the west side on Kearney and Murdoch.
Okay.
And they go out and they do a food drop, and then later in the month we go back and do an outreach to also feed and minister to the people. And this the person that is involved mostly in that area is Brother Armando Alvarez, who is just excited about presenting the gospel of Jesus Christ.
That's wonderful. How did you ever become a pastor? Like, what made you that your life goal or your life passion?
Well, I have been involved in the church all my life, and as a child, I felt the call to be a pastor.
Okay.
And tried to avoid it because sometimes people say that pastoring is a very difficult profession. So we tried to avoid it for many years, and I finally yielded at the age of 32 years old, and have had 35 years of the best time of my life.
Well, that's wonderful.
It's really exciting. After 4 churches, couldn't do anything better.
What made you decide to stop running from it?
The fact that I couldn't get it out of my mind. I dreamt it, I slept it, I walked out every day thinking about it, and I wasn't able to get it out of my mind and out of my heart. And in fact, I tried to put together a business in order for me not to have to be a pastor. I was going to be just maybe ministering somewhere.
Yeah.
And the business didn't go so well, and that drove me into the ministry full time. We started a church with about 6 people in it in 1982, and within 6 months we had over 350 people. So
that's amazing.
It was a real exciting time, and it still continues to be an exciting time after 35 years.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
How often do you do community events like the food drop?
At least the food drops are at least once every month.
Okay.
We feed people at least 3 times a month on Saturday mornings, from around 9 o'clock in the morning till noon, at our church there at the location at 3212 East Grant, and people start lining up 8 o'clock in the morning, and
I believe it.
wraps around the church for all the time that we're there. And service times for us are 8 o'clock in the morning Sunday, 9:30 is a Spanish service, and then we have an 11:15 English service. Monday nights we have a men's fellowship.
What's that?
That's where men get together and fellowship, and they study the Word of God. And that's in one part of the church. In the other part of the church, we have our women's Bible study. They all get together in separate locations and study the Word of God. And then on Wednesday nights, I do a Bible study for the family.
Is there one just for children?
Yes. Wednesday nights, they have children's ministry.
Okay.
And also on Sunday mornings, we do have children's ministry that's going on. Have some great teachers that are excited about teaching children.
That's wonderful.
We have a Friday night youth service that is just, as they would say, it's the bomb. They have a great time. And I just wanted to share that the ones that are leading the worship, the girl that's on the piano and the keyboard, she's self-taught.
That's
She
amazing.
learned how to play the piano and has only been playing it for a year and has been doing a great job. And the drummer, Terrell, is just probably one of the best drummers I've ever heard.
That's awesome.
And he only learned it within a year.
Wow,
And
definitely
he's
talent.
just exciting.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here and telling us about your wonderful church. It sounds like a wonderful, warm place to be.
I like that church, and I recommend it highly.
That's wonderful. You always want to know that your pastor, enjoys the church itself, because it would be horrible if, you secretly hated it or something.
Yeah.
Like, I just wish I could go somewhere else, But that's wonderful. We were so happy to have you. Stay right here. We'll be right back after these messages.